Okay, I am back today to do another round of the Immaculate Grid. On today's grid, there are a couple of newer teams. If memory serves correct, we have Arizona and Florida, Miami. So I don't have high hopes, but this process for me has been about growth and learning. So I have full confidence that current day me would do better than the version of myself who started this about a month ago. So let's see how we do. All right, here is today's grid. Let's get started. As mentioned earlier, we have Arizona and Miami, along with the Giants, Braves, Cubs, and Reds. All right, so to get started, let's go ahead and start in familiar territory, San Francisco and Atlanta. I'm going to go with Gaylord Perry here. I know he played with Atlanta, and I feel like I used him as a Giant in a previous grid. So let's go with the Ancient Mariner, Gaylord Perry. There we go, 1%. Let's see here. All right. So in the Arizona column, let's see. I know that Mike Morgan played for Arizona, he played for the Cubs. I feel like he played for the Reds as well. Not as sure about the Reds as the Cubs, but with the Cubs, I know that Mark Grace would go there as well, and that's going to be a pretty popular pick. But I think today I'm not really going to worry as much about rarity. I'm just going to feel good if I can get all nine or even 8 out of 9, honestly. So I think we'll go with Grace and Mike Morgan. Let's see how that does. And Mark Grace, of course, is known for being, the good hitting first baseman for the Cubs, and he won a World Series with Arizona back with Johnson, Schilling, and the gang. Yeah, I think Luis Gonzalez might work here as well. Mark Grace, 29%. I bet that's a top answer. Okay. So as promised, we're going to go with Mike Morgan here. Mike Morgan was a starting pitcher. He had some good years with the Dodgers. I remember him as a Mariner in the early 80s. But later in his career, he played with Arizona and I think Cincinnati. There we go, 0.9%. All right, so let's see. With Miami and the Cubs, Derek Lee, first baseman, had decent power. He played for both teams. I think he was on the World Series team for both Miami and the Cubs. But anyways, he did play for both and definitely on playoff teams. I'm going to go with Juan Pierre here. I feel like Pierre did play with the Cubs. He did play for Miami, I believe in like their 2000 and not 2001 because maybe in the 1990s team that won the World Series. All right, let's see if this works. Juan Pierre, 7%. All right. Okay, San Francisco, Chicago. I should be able to pull someone. So Sean Dunston is a name that'll work here. Shortstop, came up with the Cubs as a pretty promising prospect, and he did go to San Francisco later in his career. I feel like there's somebody who would get a better score here. And here we have the possibility of getting like a really old-timey player, maybe the teens, 20s, 30s. I just don't know any for sure. I don't know if like Freddie Lindstrom or Frankie Frisch played for both teams, so I'm probably going to stick with somebody from my era. We'll just go with Dunston. Shawan Dunston. There we go. All right, 4%. The Cincinnati squares, those are going to give me trouble, I think. Although I feel like with the Marlins and the Reds, I think Todd Jones is going to work here. And I've used Todd Jones before, usually with Detroit, because he was a closer at the beginning and end of his career with Detroit. I'm pretty sure he played with the Marlins. I don't remember if he played with the Reds. That's a little more iffy. But we'll go ahead and give it a try. Todd Jones. Here we go, 0.2%. All right, 6 for 6. Okay, and I know I could get this one with McGriff, maybe Sheffield. I kind of think that Julio Franco might work here. I'm pretty sure he played with the Braves. I don't know for sure if he spent any time with the Marlins. Um, yeah, well, we'll come back to that. San Francisco. Oh, um, Cincinnati. I think I want to say Dave Burba or Rich DeLucia might work here. And again, I'm drawing from my memory of Mariner players. They were both kind of like fourth, fifth starters. Gave you some innings. Didn't necessarily expect 20 wins from either of them. Although I think Burba did have a couple of 15-win seasons for the Reds. I don't remember for sure if he played with the Giants. Oh, and we can go with Joe Morgan. I'm pretty sure that's one that'll work here. Obviously, an important member of the Big Red Machine. I feel like he played for San Francisco later in his career. We're gonna go with Joe Morgan. And I might check on Dave Burba at the end here. So yeah, that Joe Morgan. Retired in '84, 8%. Yeah, so figured that sounds about right. Not unpopular, but not top. Okay, so I need to figure out Atlanta and Arizona. Okay, so let's see. I am going to go with Atlanta, Miami. And let's see. So I have McGriff, Sheffield, maybe Julio Franco. I can't remember if Charles Johnson ever spent any time in Atlanta. But we'll go ahead and we can check on Franco later. We will go with Gary Sheffield. There we go, 9%. All right, so this is one where I'm pretty stumped. I think maybe Jose Mesa might work here, although I can't say for sure that he played with either team. I know Ron Gant obviously played for Atlanta, moved around quite a bit afterwards. Damian Easley. Yeah, let's try Damian Easley here. I don't know why I think he may have played for Atlanta, but I know he played for Arizona. I'm pretty sure. Let's go ahead and take a reach here. Damian Easley. No, that failed. Got 8 out of 9. Okay, well, honestly, it was better than expected. So let's see here. Oh yeah, I want to check to see if Dave Burba would have filled the Reds, Giants. Let's see. Burba. BU. Dave Burba. Yep, should have went with Burba. That would have been a good one. Like I said, this has been about improvement, and I feel like this is a market improvement over how I've done in past grids when we've been talking about the Marlins, Diamondbacks, Rockies, and Devil Rays. So 8 out of 9, better than average. Hope you guys did well on your grids today. All right, till next time.